Welcome to Coffee and Cannabis. I'm your host, Dr. Beast, big leader of the East. And today I have a very, very special episode for you. I am with none other than former Hudson County resident, but also, you think I'd be talking about two-time combat veteran, five-time combat veteran, business professional, just all around incredible human, my friend and brother, Sage McDonald. Please give it up. What's up, bro?
Not much, sis. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing better having you next to me. Y'all all know, I've had 10 years of service, and we spoke to some other community members in this season that we have been having, but this is the guy that I have served with, that I have been in a unit with, and that is also from the same community as me. And ironically, I met you in the service, right, even though we were both from the same area, yep, and then connected on some wild sailor shit. If you know, you know. We was like, you in Jersey City? I'm in Jersey City. And then my wife is in Hoboken, and you're like, I'm from Hoboken. And I'm like, oh my God. So instantly we clicked up, and we've been friends over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Basically like family,
Absolutely.
Had our kids, raising them together and transitioning out of the service. But I just really want to set the tone and for everyone to get a sense of who you are before, the journey of the military, before the transition out. What, as somebody from Hudson County and Hoboken, just tell me a little bit about that.
Transitioning from the military back into civilian life, that's a challenge in itself. I mean, you've been there. Some people have different experiences, some smoother, some more rough.
Right.
But the system itself is definitely built, or at least it feels like it's built for us to fail, for us to not be able to make it to that other side.
Right.
10 years, 7 months, it's a long time to serve a country. As you said, 5 combat tours, fun times and hard times, right?
Even before doing all that, like when you were still in high school and you were like, I'm going to make this journey, what made you say, like, I'm going to go into the service and this is going to be my life?
Honestly, family. Okay. Family, growing up in the hood, that's the challenge within itself. Right. And to, have family members who were successful in the military, you look at that as an out. And although I ended up back in Jersey, right, that motivation allows you to be able to get somewhere where you probably wouldn't have been had you stood in the same area. Jersey's a tough place. Growing up in Jersey City, some people, they love the hood. Some people can't wait to get out the hood. Mm-hmm. Those are life choices. And I think the military definitely set me on a path where I was able to do something different than what I would have been doing had I stayed. My family's lifelong here in Jersey. Yeah. And most of them still live in the projects. Some, live around the corner from one of your first house. Right?
Yep.
So
I still got people on the P's right now.
Yeah.
So Hoboken Projects, right?
Right.
Shout out to Hoboken Projects. The part of Hoboken that people act like doesn't exist.
Literally.
How about that? We won't make this episode about that. But I mean, I do want to say, I think a lot of us saw it as a way out.
Right.
And I didn't necessarily have, I think I had people in my family that served, but they weren't, I didn't really watch their journey to be like, oh, that's an opportunity for me. But I definitely think that when you see other people around you doing it, I know your brother was in, and you're like, what else am I gonna do?
Right.
Look at the environment I'm in. Look at the avenue that I see some of my friends ending up in. So now you're like, okay, I'm gonna give my life to service. You sign up. You're in the reserve. I think it's really interesting for people. They don't understand, and often I talk about my service, but it's very it's never in depth, that people don't understand the nuance of it.
Right.
In the military is confusing because some people are active duty, some are in the reserve, and then when you're a reservist, but you're always getting activated, it's kind of like you're active duty, and people don't understand the again, the nuance of that, can you just talk about like signing up, what that thought was like, and then always going on tours? Like what was the thing that made you like, yo, 5 times I'm out of here?
Being in the military, you know, you yearn for that camaraderie, you know, that brotherhood. And, you know, it's very different from civilian life. It's easier in a sense because it provides you an everyday routine. You know, you wake up, whether it's 3-4 hours of sleep that you done had, you throw on your pack, you get your crew ready, and you head out. That normalcy, that consistency, it doesn't allow you to think about the everyday challenges that civilians have to think about. You know, at the time, you know, my wife having to be home with the kids, and you don't really understand what you're missing out on. You just know that you're missing out on things. You know, you're focused on doing what you're trained to do, which is the job, the operation, the mission. Everything else takes a back seat.
Yep.
All your possible responsibilities that you would be doing back home, you know, that goes out the window. And you get used to that lifestyle. You get used to, you know, taking orders, giving orders, and hitting the ground. And it becomes an adrenaline rush for you. It becomes something that you need. And even when you're in combat, you don't see it as trauma until you're out of it. It never processes until you're in silence, when you don't have that camaraderie around you.
Yeah. When
you're back home and what other people think is normal for you is foreign.
Yeah. I knew this episode was going to be hard. And fair warning, this is a fucked up butt, man. Shout out Zigzag, y'all know. Hemp all the way, okay? No nicotine. But I know exactly what you're saying, and I also feel like sometimes it also doesn't sort of materialize that fast. Like, you gotta really sit. I feel like I am just now, 3 years later, kind of getting to myself.
Yeah.
Understanding like what that transition was like and everything, the day to day, right? Like we go from, again, just like hit the ground running to now you have to integrate back with your family. Yep. Now you need to figure out how to get back into like, you know, the roles of your household, how to contribute, how to be normal, how to not give that energy to your spouse and to other people, right? Because you are in a very structured, militarized, giving orders environment. Right. And we, you know, didn't get out low ranking. Nope. So, you know, the orders that we were taking were not as knife hand by that time, right?
Right. Literally.
So I think enough people don't really talk about that and how we just like plow through the shit.
Yeah.
You know? Absolutely.
I mean, most people don't realize that the batteries that we got to keep in our back it's on double time. Yeah. You know, we got to push. And when you're transitioning and you're so used to the push, that this is too slow. Everything that's happening around you is happening too slow, but you're digesting everything extremely fast. And it makes you hypervigilant. It gives you anxiety. You know, and excuse my language, it's with your brain. Yeah. You know?
It does.
Things that you see on a normal day basis in the military that may be a threat to you, you're now seeing at home. And all in a while you're transitioning, I know for me, coming back home, going through divorce, not receiving the help or things that I needed at the door, right? When you first take that first step out that door, not having those resources, although people will hoot and holler and tell you they're there, but all in the same process, when you're going through that transition, you're faced with being homeless, living in your vehicle. You've got all these challenges. And for people like us and how we grew up, receiving and asking for help is not an easy process, right? And it makes it harder when you go ahead and you step out of your comfort zone just to get played with. That doesn't make the process for veterans easy at all. You know, it's very, very challenging. And most people don't know that because they don't see that, right? it's unfortunate, but here in Jersey, you would have thought, this being a place where they say is very tolerant and for their pro veteran, that you wouldn't have veterans getting out being homeless. But here we are, right?
Yep.
The process is not easy at all.
They have these programs when we're in. I talk often on my platforms about TAPS, right? Transition assistance programs to help us have the skills and the resources to transition. And it's like, we don't need that stuff. We need people to just care, right, and do their jobs. The fact that we have to come with all this like dramatic energy just to get the things that they know that we are entitled to.
Right.
That's been a big fight that you and I have both been having, and I've been navigating it and trying to give you some resources along the way. I know we gave you an attorney because I'm like, bro, we can't keep doing this ourselves anymore. Trying to get our rating and get, what we have earned and now what we live with. Right. And these invisible scars, and many of us visible scars, but the invisible ones, it's like the way that they are measuring your trauma and your impact is insane.
It is.
Why I gotta go in there limping and dipping and doing all this stuff? Like, honey, do the math.
Right.
I was a cop. You're a quartermaster. We were in an expeditionary combat unit.
Right.
We wore 70 pounds and not a garrison vest, baby.
Big boys.
Real deal. Not stopping a handgun, okay? All day. What? And then the doctor that I had, she was like, oh yeah, I have plantar fasciitis because I work in the hospital. I'm just walking all day. And listen, no disrespect.
Right.
It's very true. It's very possible. But if you can rationalize that you did that and my ass went to combat, why are we having this conversation?
Literally.
I just told you I'm in pain and I'm living on ibuprofen and chronic pain all day. But because we just push and we function, it gets dismissed.
Right. Here's some Tylenol. That's
800.
That's your prescribed medication or your choice of drug in the military.
Yep.
You get hurt, get injured. Here's some ibuprofen. You good? Again, try to take it easy. That makes sense, right? I got another 2-week hop that I'm about to leave for in 4 hours. But okay, I'll take this. It'll work. Then you get back. You go through a whole transition and they say, oh, well, did you have this documented?
Oh, God. Because I'm supposed to stop mid-theater. Right. I got to go. SIQ. I got to go get this in there. Bro.
You know what's crazy?
I can't make this shit.
I died in a VA hospital, bleeding out. Yet, why would I need to confirm that this is in my record?
You're like, this happened in the hospital.
This happened in the VA or in the actual hospital. Freaking, but it's crazy, right? I mean, the transition, the fight for you having to I was poor, living in my Jeep. You think that my mentality was transitioning from active to literally being completely out.
Right.
That my thought process was, you know what? Let me throw on some sweatpants, maybe a dirty t-shirt, let my beard grow out for about 2-3 months, and then go into a VA to try and finesse. To over-exaggerate what illnesses that I'm supposed to have. Mm-hmm. Like, who's got that energy? Why would the process be there to measure you based off of your outlook visually?
Yep. Just
to measure whether or not you're fit for a percentage. 5 combat tours.
That's gonna be the winner, though. That guy.
Right.
100% tomorrow. Right.
But you got to play the game. Unfortunately.
I'm not here to play these games because the sacrifice, right? And you have kids as well. To be away from your family, to miss these moments, people don't understand how that never goes away because you can't ever get it back.
No, that's time. Every time that hand clicked over, that's a minute, that's a second, that's an hour. that you've missed out of your children's lives, your family's lives. I mean, they're sacrificing just as much as we are,
Yes.
allowing us to be able to do what we've done.
Yeah.
Yet, here it is. We have to come last.
Yep.
And the only way you come first is if you're lucky or you play that game.
It's so real, bro. It's so real, and they serve with us. That's 1,000%. In your tours that you've done, where you mostly went to Djibouti, right?
UAE. I got to go to Kuwait, spent some time in Germany, but mainly the Red Sea was our playground. I mean,
yo, they tried to drag me. Yeah. I did everything under the sun. I was like, yo, guys, I'll go anywhere. I'll go to Iraq tomorrow. I don't want to go to Djibouti. And no, I'm not gonna hold you. I really didn't want to go because I didn't want to take all them pills.
Right.
That shit crazy.
Right. Every morning, you wake up. You getting ready to go on mission, yet out in front of all y'all, making sure you lift your tongues up and take your pills every morning. Like,
are you serious?
Very serious. Very serious. They did that for months. For months. How silly is that? Like, we're some grown ass adults getting watched to take medication that you want us to take every single day. What about all the adverse effects from doing that?
Oh.
You know?
I'm sure there's...
You know?
Yeah. Listen, we got so many things inside of us. Remember when you went through the line and they shot you with the...
Oh, yeah.
They shot you with a... what is that thing? I don't even know. It's like a shotgun. Not to be confused with a shotgun.
It has the one with the multiple needles on it. It's like, I think, what is it, like 20 or 30 of them on there?
Bro, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Still got that scar.
Me too. Yep. I don't think anybody understands what that shit is like.
Right.
Going like that boot camp, you're like, boom, 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 boom. It's fucking torture.
Or the peanut butter shot.
Right in that ass.
Literally.
Some people are going to watch this and they're going to be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Man, when I tell you, standing on that long ass line behind all these grown ass men and everybody dropping the cheek to get jabbed up. I mean, that alone should give you PTSD.
Yeah, the peanut butter shot is definitely PTSD worthy. Oh my goodness.
Everybody walking around rubbing their cheek. At the end of that, like, what excuse do I really have when I have brothers and uncles who serve? Right. Like, no fair warning?
And they probably had it way worse.
Right.
I mean, because now I be looking at what's going on. It was probably like 5 years ago, a family member had joined and she was like, yeah, you know, we have like these little cards that we pull out when it's like too intense. And I was like, cards that you pull out when it's too intense? And she was like, yeah, it's called a stress card. And I was like, what? A stress card?
Yep.
And then she was like, yeah, make sure everybody has my email because that's how we communicate. I'm like, you better go get a pen and paper, motherfucker.
Right.
And send them kites like I was.
Literally.
With my tears dripping. This is a terrible place. I hate them. They hate me. Bro, it's a different world now.
Nah, you know what's crazy about boot camp? That was the first time that I got to see and truly understand why people used to say black people can't swim.
When the sea of black people used to come back from failing this way.
Yes, yo.
Yo, when you... not for nothing. When you think about stereotypes, it'd be annoying. Like, you know, every stereotype ain't real, but when you see that, you're like, yo.
Yeah.
We can't argue this.
Yep.
It was the probability it'd be the whole unit, all black people.
Literally. Everybody getting extended another 7 weeks.
This shit is good. But I will tell you, first off, I never knew the Navy actually had so many black people. You would think because typically swimming is not our best skill.
Literally.
And that's not because we're not skillful in it, by the way. We can go down the rabbit hole of why, right? But we're not going to make this episode about that either.
We ain't there.
But, you know, ultimately, like, I remember I used to go into, like, the admin, and I was like, where is black people came from in the Navy?
Right. It caught me by surprise. Very, very, very diverse.
Yes, it is. It's a diverse branch.
Absolutely.
And it teaches a lot of black people a good skill set.
Oh, yeah.
Because swimming is necessary, but also, like, seeing the world.
Yep.
And I always tell a lot of people, I always have a hard time describing my military experience when they ask me, like, how do you feel? Something so blanketed. Well, I feel in pain.
Right.
But I feel like I learned how to be a better leader. I feel like I could feel for other people more. Right. Because I have seen the world. They have given me the opportunity to live and to travel and to be in other communities, to meet other cultures and connect with different people, which has also, I think, made me a better leader in connecting with people, but then also the structure of what we do, and then all the benefits thereafter, right? Being able to have your GI Bill, being able to qualify to get a loan for a home, being able to have these certain prioritizations. It has benefited me. Yeah. But is the trade-off always worth it? And that's the thing that I'm always questioning, you know, like, and I hate that we're in a place now where we have to quantify these things in our life, because the VA, as much of a effed up system as it is, the fact that I've been seeing my therapist for the past 4 years since I've gotten out, you know what that bill would have been? Like, as a civilian?
Right.
And who's to say that my civilian insurance would even cover it or care to even, and then, because they don't understand what the depth of our experiences are. Right. So I don't know. How do you feel about that? Because I always struggle with it.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Joining, and then is our service worth it, right? And for me, I think that our service was worth it, right? We made a choice to do some things that most people won't do, ever. And the benefits of our service, we've gotten to touch soil that most Americans won't ever touch. We get to enjoy going to all these different countries and seeing what their cultures are about. How is life in their area? Those are things that are very beneficial that I feel like I've received from my service, but it doesn't change the fact that every day we wake up, we've got pain, Yep. So how do you measure it?
I think beyond just the pain, like, I think now I have kids that are younger. That pain is impacting what I can do with them, or it's making me, because I'm going to make sure that I overcompensate, because now, like, I'm here and present and I want to be a parent. So now I'm going to actually go past my threshold so that they don't feel that, so that they don't, they don't understand the experience that I'm having. And also, they were not there like Aubrielle was too by the time that I got out. She does not remember that part of my life, which is great. I'm happy. That's the whole reason. Like, I thought I was going to do 20 years. And then I feel like the universe had things happen the way that it did, because it knew in my heart, like, I would not be able to watch. She's 6 years old right now. I wouldn't be able to go. If they called me, oh my God.
I feel you.
I don't know what I would do. Oh my God. I didn't even want to think about that. My dwell time is over, so don't even try it. Don't even try it. However, if there is an apocalypse, just understand I still have 2 E's on my chest, just in case.
Hey, facts.
But yeah, I don't know. And I feel like that's the direction that the world is going in.
Yeah.
No? So I always think about that. Like, I'm here now, doing this civilian business stuff. It's harder, but then I see what's happening on the news and I'm like, yo, I was there.
Right.
In like a lot of those places.
Literally.
Holy shit. Feeling protected in a sense, but also feeling like guilty, like empathetic, like mad because like I love the UAE.
Right.
I the same way that I be talking about Atlantic City, UAE, like it is, we are not gassing.
No.
Dubai is as incredible as it looks on TikTok. I promise you.
Absolutely. Everything about Dubai is, it don't matter if you go to Abu Dhabi, Jebel Ali, Fujairah. You know, Fujairah being as deep in its country way.
Yeah.
Right? But it still had a beautiful sense there.
Yep.
I mean, it has, Dubai is a different level.
It is.
You know, people compare Dubai to New York and say New York's better, but New York is a third of what Dubai is how I feel.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think it's fair to make the comparison. New York is a historical city. Right. In Dubai, I think the unification of the UAE, right? That's what it is, the United Arab Emirates, the same way that we are the United States. They came together, the 5 sectors, right? Sharjah, Abu Dhabi. I'm not even going to name all of them, but they came together in 1970, I believe. So it's such a new country, but they did so many smart things when developing it and considering like safety, taking all the dopest parts of the whole world and putting it there. Right. Like there's like the Eye of London type of thing. It's over there. The Palm, Atlantis, like you name it, they got it. Right.
I mean, and then the nightlife was also on a different level. Like when you actually got to enjoy being out there and enjoy that time, that nightlife, way different than how it is here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I even love their transportation systems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, new. Like I worked for the MTA for years, and that is such a challenge. They're always, people don't know that MTA is a piecemeal of like a lot of private companies that were existence in New York over the years, and then they took them over. So there's one called Mabstoa, which was like Manhattan and the Bronx, operating Surface something, and then they added it. So all of these different train stations are all made and engineered differently. Right. Whereas like Dubai and like London, like they had the opportunity, like Paris, they had the opportunity to make something brand new. Right. But with that, it is fast, it's safe, it goes to all the important places, it's cheap. Right. Actually, they have like one that's like business class, but then you can pay for like the regular people and it'd be cheap. and the thing is, everybody is so nice that it doesn't even matter. You can go in either. Right. I just wish that we could create a unification like that here. And, you know, going back to the original thought of like, it hurt seeing that. Right. But also like, that could have been us and we could have been there.
At any time.
But we made it out.
Yep.
We were in a really unique unit. Talk about that a little bit so people get the context of what you used to do.
So,
I mean, I know we were both in a lot of different units, but our primary time was in that one that we were in for a long time, Expeditionary Combat Unit.
I think the complexity of that type of unit, being that you're considered specialized but not really special, you do so much from a range of our different capabilities, whether it would be high priority escorting, and then running into regular DAOs that had smuggled, tomahawks. Yep. That's not something that many units could just talk about. Right. Outside of ours. I mean, being, I would say, in the Red Sea as well, there are some benefits that come from that as well. Water might be super salty, but they got a lot of different coral sites that, you get to bring and like give your crew some time to relax and enjoy. Right. Driving up armored vehicles in the desert, 130-degree weather. I mean, it's not actually the funnest or nicest job to have, right? Right. And then to do that for 6 to 9 months, that's rough. Yep. Seeing how some other peoples in their own country, whether it be on a cultural basis, where you can spend time outside with that culture and learn about them, those are benefits that not many people get to do or receive. Yep. And being in our nice special unit, we get the benefit from that.
Yeah, it was definitely very unique. As a woman in that kind of unit, that was,
Yeah.
we didn't have too many of us.
I mean, literally, y'all one of the bros. That's how it is in that community. I mean, eat, sleep, do everything pretty much together. You be out in the middle of the ocean on a speedboat. Where is she going to the bathroom? You out there 16 hours straight. Like, so of course, like y'all had it rough at the end of the day. I can hold you.
Yeah, there's other times where that bathroom problem is a bit bigger, bro.
Right.
So, Right. Whew. Good times. Good times.
In the military, you can find family in anybody military. When you operate together, it's a whole different world.
Yeah. I think that's, and I'll just drive that right into like what's happening today. I feel like, listen, I get that we have differences of opinion, but when you're in the service and you work and unify with people from all over the world, right. I think the good thing about being a reservist is that often, especially some of it was unit mobilization, some of it was individual. And a lot of times when you did those individuals, you'd be with people from all over the world.
Right.
Great opportunity to meet different people, see different people, work with different people. And yeah, I mean, tell me how you feel about the difference between kind of like doing those missions where it was the unit together, but then like a bunch of people from everywhere.
In our community, it was kind of like still working with the same people, right? We're a small community, so when what you do on one side is going to be done on the other.
Yeah.
It's all about just meeting who, your new friends and sixes are going to be.
Yeah.
And that building that chemistry together, I feel like for me, going from East Coast units to West Coast units, there's a culture difference, right? On the East Coast, we're real uptight, strict. And then on the West Coast, everybody's like, yeah, bro, like, I'm cool.
What time is muster? Get there soon.
And it was super laid back. I feel like that's character building. And it does that a lot for all of us because we're going to all these different communities in the military. And that's a unique opportunity to be able to meet different people within your element and how they do things differently.
I definitely think it's definitely reinforces the skill of adaptability. And that's why we can continue to change and be malleable and figure things out because we have been so many different places that we can just adapt. Right. And I think, really going into all the people from East Coast and West Coast, we all were different, but we still figured out how to execute the same mission, even if we did it differently. Yep. We don't have that right now in how even the United States is operating. And it's so crazy because it's a dividedness that like we just didn't experience in the service. Like you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, and guess what? We both in this shit together right now. Right. We both in the mud. Like digging
foxholes.
Like, right.
What we gotta argue about, bro? Like
we both here
we in this shit together right here, right? I mean, it's true. Like the culture is just way different now than how it used to be. I think about all the trainings and being out in the dirt. Yeah. And you guys don't think about politics at all. Yeah. Whereas now today, that's how deep it's being embedded. Yeah. I mean,
and I don't want to say I wasn't in when the political stuff was going on because I was, but I think during COVID, it was a little bit more tempered because a lot of people were also going through COVID. Right. So the politics stuff wasn't really consuming them. But now that we're back to normal, people are hyper focused on what's happening. And also you can't really avoid seeing bombs on national television going across countries. You're like, oh, something is happening.
Chaos sells. I mean,
ratings are up.
We're Americans at the end of the day, right? It's like,
so it's such an experience being out and learning so much more about politics. I often talk about on the show, and especially the other one that I have that's more political driven. Yeah. I'm like, I'm pretty, I would consider myself pretty bright. And I also know enough about local politics, and I've been involved in my community for many, many years, even before the service. Like, I think I'm way more civically engaged than I ever was raised to be. And then I came home. And like the other thing is, and please share like your perspective on this, because we also are not really allowed to talk about that kind of stuff. Right. Like on social media and stuff like that. So I feel like I never really rendered an opinion or spoke openly about how I felt about things. And I wasn't very vocal. Right. And now I'm like chains free. I could say what I want. I can do what I want. Now I'm podcasting, and I'm learning the next level of politics that I'm like, whoa, right. This is crazy. It's disgusting. It's frustrating. And then going back to like the experience transitioning out, I have engaged with so many of them, and they are so performative. Right. Thank you for your service, and then fuck you very much. Mm-hmm. Because the actions are fuck you very much.
Right. No, but this is the world we live in. I mean,
But you've been getting, more engaged and doing stuff now. Like, what do you feel like in this new experience that you're having as a civilian, like with politics and having your own veteran experience? I know you told me you want to talk more about, like helping other people, because right. You really sat like, tell me about that.
Like now that I'm actually out and I've got a handle on what I need to know mm-hmm. and how to run through the system. I think at this point, based off of the experiences that we've had, it would actually help a lot of people to know, there are levels to going about this system. Mm. And you have to either play the game or you shit out of luck. I mean, you got to teach these people these things, because no one's going to know what the culture is like outside if you don't have, the younger generation stepping up and, using our youth to be able to help other veterans, etc.
Yeah. What do you feel about Hudson County politics today? We had the same mayor for a long time while you and I were both and both residents of Jersey City, but still getting deployed and going overseas. Right. This is the first time we've seen a new administration. They no longer have a Veterans Affairs Department. I don't know if you knew that.
I do. I think, was it Juliet?
Yep.
She had informed me about that.
They stopped funding the parade. They stopped prioritizing veterans. We never got support when we transitioned out.
Right.
What do you feel about what the new politics in Hudson County look like? I know your ass left.
I mean, I truly don't think that they're doing anything to truly benefit the veteran, right? There's a lot of things that they can be doing differently and spending resources on, yet they do the opposite.
Right.
So what those actions tell me more about what they're doing for us than what they should be doing. But Hudson County, man, this is rough. I couldn't survive there.
It's fucking expensive.
It just, the price goes up and up and up and up and up. And when you look at how we veterans who have to deal with our ailments, what we receive through any amount of benefit doesn't keep up with the cost of living in Hudson County at all. Raising a family there, it's rougher. It's the rougher area of Jersey, Yeah,
veterans housing is in the hood,
right? And
there's like 10 apartments in the building.
Yep.
So basically, 10 veterans get support.
And mind you, that was it started off at 6. Mm. And over the course of the last now going on almost 4 years that I've been out, 5 years I've been out, mm-hmm. They've just added only 4 more units to that original 6. And it's not like this is like a dwelling that just sat on an empty lot.
Right.
Like, this is dead smack in the middle of the hood.
Yep. Yep. It's a shame the way that this nation treats veterans in practice.
Right.
Because in theory, and even sometimes in policy, and in want, Because I think people's actions, like they want, but like the execution is just not there.
It's not.
I feel like I can't really understand it because it is such a population that gets abused when it comes to narratives.
Right.
And trying to like when you go to a school and you're trying to sign up to college,
yep.
You're a veteran, they want that community for their data.
Right.
So they're like targeting you, yep. Right? Same thing, they know that you have ease of paying because they know you're about to use that GI Bill. They're getting it straight from the feds. That's right. Easy money.
Yep.
Helping their bottom line.
Yep.
A school is still a business.
At the end of the day.
All these, that's just one example of like how, right? But then politics, mm-hmm. They want the credibility of a veteran. Right. So, they want the endorsement. They want the support. They go to all the veterans events. They know that veterans vote. Right. Even overseas, mail-in ballot, that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't know all the things, but I was doing what I needed to do.
Right.
So all these different pockets of times where we are the target audience, and then it's like when we really come with real issues, right? Like building out this cannabis business and going through this transition was I'm a psycho for doing that.
Just a little bit.
Like, girl, give yourself some. Get your feet but I just, again, push through. I'm fine. What do you mean? Okay, we out. Now we doing this. We good. And it's in alignment with me. Boom, boom, boom. It made sense. But other things start to unravel.
Right.
Talked to you about this earlier. It's been fucking with me. But, I was just diagnosed with a post concussion syndrome. And even right now, right, I am seeing it in myself. Right. And I'm crazy for still podcasting because in real time, like I am fucking up because my brain is still trying to do a thing. Right. But what are we supposed to do? Like, yes, this is an immediate problem that I have, but they're veterans that have PTSD or have other ailments. This is their everyday, and then they have to figure out how to live the rest of their lives. We are in our 30s. We have 30 and 60 years more to figure out how to function and be okay.
Literally.
You're supposed to be on 5, 10, 20 pills every day, 365, processing through, this small body for 60 years?
How do you maintain?
How do you not let that shit kill you?
Right.
Great has come out of it because I got you.
Yeah. There's always a silver lining, right? I mean, we're going on technically, 14 years now.
That long?
Yeah.
Wow. My goodness. And your daughter is 16. Well, your oldest daughter.
Right.
Your oldest kid. God damn.
35-year-old with a 16-year-old. Imagine that.
Well, listen. We won't make this about that either. But you made a decision to go into the service and change your life.
Right.
And it did change your life. And you have so much more ahead of you now. But you do have to navigate a new you.
Yep. It's for better or worse, right? You make a decision not knowing that there will be long-term effects, right? You sacrifice yourself to be able to give to your family.
Yeah.
You go through that actual lifestyle just to find out that you will have pains that will never go away. It's part of the job. It's part of what you volunteer for. It's unfortunate, but I do think that the system that they have in place is completely broken when it comes to serving its veterans.
Yeah.
I don't believe that having to put on political theater or any of that stuff for you to receive a decent rating. I mean, to me, that's weird. Someone who has not served, does not know what it is going to rate me on my ailments.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a broken system, but you have pieced yourself back together. I have pieced myself back together. Yep. We have been in community with each other for many years, and just being the support that externally we never necessarily got. And now we're transitioning into this new iteration of our lives.
Right.
And gratefully, you know, you have your brother and sisters that you serve with that end up being your family for life, but then you get a handful that end up really being a part of your core community.
Yes.
And I'm really grateful that we ended up being from the same place. Right. So that, you know, we can continue to build and grow. And I want you to use that will that you have to continue to walk this journey and tell this story. A lot of people, you know, my theory is always radical transparency, because for so long I was quiet and choked and feeling like my chakras were not allowing me to speak my truth. Right. And there's so many people in doing this particular journey. Like, the dispensary is one thing, but this podcasting and like talking to people, but also the audience, so many people have reached out to me about different pockets of things that I talk about, because, you know, I'm so multi-hyphenated. I've had so many different experiences, but whether it be my doctoral journey, being a LGBTQ family and a mom, being a service member, being a female service member in a male dominated space, right? Yeah. The military is already male dominated, but I don't think people understand what our unit was like.
Right. At all.
It was like, what was the squadron? Like 90 people?
Technically, it's around 90 people on average.
Maybe 8 women. Fair?
That I could at least remember. I mean, it's very, very small number.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So
at least 10 to 1 at that, you know?
Exactly. And that was the environment, but now so many people have connected with me, and I want you to be able to do the same thing. And that's why I wanted to make sure that, you know, this iteration of the podcast is talking to more community members, talking, you know, obviously you're a consumer. We don't have to talk about your journey, but, you know, because the reality is that you was on meds and you found another solution.
Right. At the end of the day. I mean, at least something that's not going to kill me.
Exactly. So I always want people to just know, like, you know, this plant has so many intersections with so many people. Right. Whether it's vets, legacy, trappers, people that have, you know, Parkinson's, seizures, medical issues, and it's healing for all of us. Right. And now that you have used it and you have walked your journey of healing, I want you to continue to share your journey, because there are other men that have had your experience. You know, I went out 2 times, 5 times. I don't think, I'm not well now, bro. I don't know how you do it.
We do it for family. I mean, when I came back to Jersey, when I decided to transition out, that was for family, you know. That was me finally coming to realization that this isn't my long-term endeavor. Yeah. You know. And at some point you gotta pump the brakes. Mm-hmm. Right. By my 10th year, I had that reality check, and it took dying in a hospital to then being treated like you were the worst of the worst. Like, you're nothing at this point. You served your purpose. Right. And when I felt that is what actually forced me to not want to actually continue long term in the military. I know we're getting close to close, but I don't want to end without getting some depth of that story, because I think a lot of us make a decision to do this thing, and some people are like, I'm just doing 4 years and I'm out. Right. And some people are like, I'm going to do 20. And then some are just like, I'm going to see how it goes. But once you get to a certain amount, you kind of have to make the decision in your head. Right. And when you get to 10, that's normally like, what am I going to do? Yeah. But then sometimes God in the universe kind of makes something happen to put that into your awareness for you to say, what you gonna do? Right. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of made you step away? So me stepping away was realizing that no matter what awards I've received, no matter what work I put in, that this would be a long-term fight. And either you stay in and deal with the politicking, deal with the, you know, demoralization that you feel less than of, you know, because you've experienced a traumatic event in your life, right? Or you just get out and find start to find something new, right? And that's what I felt drove me to actually get out. So when I got out, that's what I inspired to do. You know, I mean, you know firsthand, you were still in while I was transitioning out. You know, and I've had you on my corner always. You know, so that for me is having someone who's experiencing at least something that you can experience, right? When you guys both know what's going on with one another and are experiencing the similar things, it makes it easier for you to be able to converse and feel like you have some type of support while transitioning out.
Yeah. And watching you go through it and having my experience and my own revelation, I think that's what really motivated me to like be firm in my decision. And it's been a tough journey, but we here.
Right.
And we did some hard things. We didn't have the sunset with our conversation. Right. But again, I'm glad through it all. Like we had that journey, but then, you know, there's some people that they align with chapters, and then there's some people that just kind of become family for life. Right. And, you know, I love you so much.
Yeah, I love you too, sis.
I'm so proud of you. I know that none of it has been easy. I do, firsthand.
Absolutely. I mean, it's likewise. I've seen what you have all the trials and tribulations, whether it be with the VA or just being an entrepreneur and that bird spirit that you got, you know, willing to take on anything.
Yep.
I've watched it, and I'm more than proud of you and for you. You even going through school as well as taking on a lot of these businesses and challenges. I mean, you know, I don't think that I know any woman that pushes as hard as you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. We're definitely built different.
That's a fact.
Which is why our community and the people that can relate to us and that we could relate to, but that could also be a safe space for us, is not in abundance, but it's not always about quantity. Yep. And I'm, as an adult and as a mother and as a wife and as somebody who is really now getting into full adulthood, right. I'm like, yeah, quality any day. Yep. I don't want all these motherfuckers. Nope. You know, when you're in the military, you meet so many people that's like, yo, bro, oh, you're like everybody. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good in this world. Because also, like, y'all don't got that spirit. Right. Y'all don't move that way. Y'all don't have the loyalty and the integrity and all those kind of things. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to walk around and worry about my 6 all day.
I don't like that.
You know?
I don't like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
That space is for the birds.
Mm-hmm. But please tell the people, you know, where they could follow you. I know that you're not so super out there, but I know that this might be a next iteration of your journey. So please, you know, if people want to learn more about what you went through, or maybe even want to connect with other veterans or males that, you know, need support.
Right. You can definitely follow me on IG at Sage_Wise_Man.
Sage, I'm an open book. Wise man.
So if you want to talk, we can talk. Look at different support groups. Or you need anything, just reach out. I got you.
Y'all heard that first, all right? That's what we here for. Veterans, local community. This is the next, like, where the world is going. You gotta have people, you have to have resources, and you have to have community. And I don't think enough people are having empathy for the type of shit that people are going through out here. So I appreciate the conversation, bro. The smoke, my bad about the fucking blunt. I was dusty ass roll.
I mean, it hit, so right?
No judgment. Until next time, y'all. This is Coffee and Cannabis. Peace.